talking about the HR specialist portion of this project. So to start out, there are problems within the HR system, of course. Data in the database was lost. So to start out, to conduct the problem, we would start out with essentially an interview personnel. So to start at the top of the HR department, there would be interviews conducted within the whole HR department from the top to the personnel to understand why this data was lost and why it was not kept up and recorded with. Second, there would be communication through all departments of the Boeing company to see if any department actually has any information still from internships or any that they can send over to the HR department. Third would be a whole new database that would be created. So there would be a whole new database that would be created throughout the whole Boeing for interns to reapply and to put their information in that can actually be saved and encrypted safely and securely, Lastly, to notify all interns that the database was unfortunately suspended and that did not work. Sorry about that. There would be a whole new, so essentially through like newspaper outlets, also through Instagram, Twitter, just social media to get the word out there. But most importantly, it would be on the Boeing website. So as soon as you go to the Boeing website, the first thing you see is, unfortunately, the database has been suspended and it did not work correctly. We would like you to reapply for this position. Now, to get more into this database, first, the database would consist of names, address, phone numbers, all of that jazz. Second, it would only be accessible from the head of the HR. So with that being said, essentially, so an intern would apply and put their information in. It would go to the HR personnel and be verified and then saved, which would go straight to the head of the HR. And it only can be accessed through the head of the HR unless given approval to one of the personnel of, one of the specialists, that they can go and work on it with the intern and file in all of that. Third, there's a 6-year window of this information that can be saved and stored. So for instance, if there's a freshman that's interning for their freshman going into sophomore year, then that information would be saved all the way up until their bachelor's or if they need to get their master's or doctorate, just in case they would like to actually work there after they get out of their education. Lastly, there would be a weekly check from an HR specialist. So essentially, there would be one designated specialist to check over the data to make sure that this data is working, the system is going correctly, all files have been saved and secured, and then it would be approved by the HR to make sure this weekly check is keep going. Thank you.